Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie, and good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in this crazy world we're living in. I just want to put Kiena's photo up there. So in this video, we're going to talk about Kiena Dawes. This is Dawes. This is a very, very sad story. But there's been some sort of mixed news today. There's some disappointing news but some good news too. And Kiena was only 23 years old when she unalived herself, when she took her own life, due to the abuse and suffering that she had suffered from her partner. And she actually even left a note saying all this on her phone to say, which we're gonna read the note in a moment when we read about what's happened today in this case. So her partner has been or was charged with manslaughter. This is quite a novel thing, a very novel thing, in fact, in Britain, that somebody can be charged actually with manslaughter, even though it wasn't them that actually directly unalived the person. So this is a very important case. Now, her partner has been cleared of manslaughter, but he has been found guilty of other things, again, that are like a real novelty in Britain, a real new thing. So it's a sort of mixed bag of emotions. It's positive that he's got some convictions from it, but unfortunately, he hasn't been found guilty of manslaughter, though personally, there's no doubt in my mind that he did kill this woman. Okay, so let's have a look at the story. Now, I have covered Kiena's case before, but it's quite a long time ago. So I want to say thank you to, let's have a little closer picture of her. It's the same picture, but a bit closer up. A very beautiful girl, a mother with a young child. Just couldn't take it anymore. Just could not take it anymore. The abuse that she suffered from her partner. Anyway, you're going to get angry. You're going to get angry, but, I'm already incandescent, to be honest, but I'm going to be good. I'm not going to swear. For Kiena's memory, we'll be polite about this. I just want to tell her story, and I just want I want to say thank you. Somebody sent me the link to this news item today. I hadn't seen it, so thank you for that. I'm glad that I've got to see the result of the court case. So let's share the article. So this is ITV News. I think it's a very good, article, if you like it. As we read through it, there's a couple of videos to watch, but also it explains quite clearly what had happened here. So, man cleared of manslaughter after this. You can't say that word on YouTube, after the self-deletion of his partner, Kiena Dawes, who suffered years of abuse. I think she was only 23 when she died. He is 30. He was 30. So he's a little bit older than her, isn't he? Only a little bit. But, that I think that's important. I think these type of men, they do look for younger women normally, because it's younger women that they can get away with it with, if you like. An older woman just, they've learnt a little bit and they wouldn't put up with it maybe so much. So let's watch this video. So this is the ITV News reporter Rachel Townsend reporting from outside Preston Crown Court when this case was resolved today.
At Animal Friends Insurance, we don't insure these,
adverts,
or these, or even these, but we do
it's
insure
all right.
these,
it's got animals on it,
and these, and definitely these, who all help to protect them. Every pet insured with Animal Friends helps us to give millions to animal welfare and conservation charities. Get pet insurance you can be proud of. Animal Friends Insurance. Wildly different.
A man accused of conducting a campaign of abuse before his former fiancée took her own life has been found guilty of assault and controlling and coercive behaviour, but cleared of manslaughter.
So, guilty of assault and coercive behaviour, but cleared of manslaughter. It's a result that there's been some charges upheld.
Ryan Wellings was on trial accused of the manslaughter of 23-year-old Kiena Dawes after she left a suicide note naming him as her killer. A North of England correspondent Rachel Townsend is at Preston Crown Court.
Well, in this trial, Ryan Wellings became the first defendant to be tried before a jury accused of the unlawful killing of his partner after she took her own life following domestic violence. The prosecution had hoped this would become a landmark case. But
so I'd like to say to anyone who's living in that area, just remember this man, because there you go. You know, he might have been cleared of manslaughter, but he was found guilty. Now, this is really quite a big result for the prosecution because, of course, Kiena is not here to tell her story, but I believe they used the text that had gone between the two were used as evidence. And everybody should know what kind of man this is. But, you know, he's got a new girlfriend already. My God, if you're watching, you won the lottery, didn't you? Getting this one. Oh my God, you really won the lottery. Just amazes me how they managed to find partners.
Wellings has been cleared of that most serious charge of manslaughter. He was, after 3 days of deliberations, found guilty of assault and coercive behaviour. Now, on the day she died in July 2022, Kiena left her 8-month-old baby daughter with a friend and then took her own life. Next to the child was a note written by Kiena on her mobile phone. It read, "The end. I fought hard. I fought long. I went through pain no one could imagine. I was murdered," she said. "Ryan Wellings killed me." Well, the pair had been in a relationship for around 2 years, and for much of that time, Kiena had endured the most horrific violence and abuse at the hands of Ryan Wellings. He told the
last time I did a video about Kiena, there was a photo that YouTube binned it off. Because the photo that Kiena had taken of herself, honest to God, the injuries that he gave to her. And I was in the early days of doing YouTube videos then, and now I know that you just can't show those things, which is a shame in a way, because it's, you know, people need to see what this man is capable of. I wonder if his new girlfriend has seen those photos of what he did to Kiena. You know, what kind of catch does she think she's got? You know, really, really? What's her solidarity with women like? You know, it just fascinates me that even knowing all this, she's still with him.
The jury, he'd never intentionally hurt her. He was simply trying to refrain her. We heard how Kiena had suffered mental health problems. The prosecution said that Wellings had exploited that condition. Now,
so he said he'd never intentionally intended to hurt her. He was trying to restrain her because she had these mental health issues. So easy to throw that around, isn't it, after someone's not here anymore? You know, to stick up for themselves. And of course, due to the fact of what they've done, you know, you'll hide, oh no, well, she had mental health issues, that's why she's done this. I never hurt her. I never did anything deliberately to hurt her. But luckily, there were the text messages that had gone between them. So that'll be what has sealed his fate, at least for the convictions he's got.
Also in that suicide note, Kiena Dawes said that she'd hoped the police would act faster in similar cases to hers. She'd called the police on at least 5 occasions over domestic disturbances. The police watchdog have investigated that, and as a result, 3 Lancashire police officers are now facing misconduct disciplinary.
Well, and that's a big thing. We know what that's like, isn't it, when they do these independent reviews, and normally it's lessons learned, no action. But 3 officers have been facing disciplinary action. That's big, because just makes you wonder, did they just totally ignore her then? What, but anyway, that's good too. It's good that some action's been taken instead of just, oh, well, we've learnt lessons from this.
Hearings. Well, Wellings gave a thumbs up to his family as he was found guilty of assault and coercive behaviour. He will be back here on Thursday to be sentenced.
Rachel Townsend.
I mean, what sentence is he going to get? I don't know.
And reporting, and if you've been affected by any of the issues that she was reporting on, there are links to organisations who can help. You can just go to our website, itv.com/news.
Yeah, we'll see those on this as we go down this article. If there are some numbers and places to contact if you are affected by it, or you want, whether it's you or whether it's somebody else, to maybe let them know what they can, if it's not particularly you, but somebody that just to let them know there is help out there. But, it is a bit depressing that Kiena was failed, wasn't she, by the police? Because you always say to people, oh, seek help, seek help. But if people seek help but they're not getting any help, you just have to hope that these things change things. Will there be another Kiena? Well, they're bound to be another Kiena, but let's hope just next time the police do take it more seriously. So, yeah, man has been cleared of killing a young mum after she took her own life, claiming he had murdered me following a campaign of abuse. Hairdresser Kiena Dawes, 23, claimed that former partner Ryan Wellings, 30, had ruined every bit of strength I had left, in a note before leaving their 9-month-old daughter with a friend and taking her own life. I mean, for you to leave your daughter, it's got to be quite bad, hasn't it? I mean, to feel that she just couldn't carry on anymore. I hope he never gets to see that daughter, to be honest, though. That's a bit sad because that daughter has lost a mum, and now, well, her dad wasn't worth having, I suppose, but, what would that daughter have witnessed? Probably has witnessed, but hopefully won't remember the violence. So Wellings had denied manslaughter but became the first defendant to be tried before a jury accused of the unlawful killing of his partner after her self-deletion. He was acquitted of the charge. Wonder why he was acquitted of the charge. Wonder why. Anyway, but he was found guilty of assault and prolonged domestic violence towards Kiena. Only one other defendant, Nicholas Allen, has been convicted of manslaughter in such circumstances before, after he admitted before his trial in 2017 the manslaughter of his partner, Justine Rees. From 2020 to 2023, 723 domestic abuse-related deaths were identified by police in England and Wales, of which 216 were suspected victim self-deletions. God. And there he is. Prime catch, ladies. You see this man coming, you want to run the other way. You young girls out there. God. But his current girlfriend obviously thinks she's, done well. So Miss Dawes' suicide note written on her phone meant she had named and blamed her killer from beyond the grave, Welling's trial heard. But he was cleared of her manslaughter and convicted of assault and coercive and controlling behaviour towards Miss Dawes after a 6-week trial at Preston Crown Court. 6 weeks, that's long, isn't it? As he was led from the dock, he blew a kiss to his family. Well, there you go. At least his family loves him. Well, do you know what? I'm a bit speechless. And gave a thumbs up as he was led from the dock. Now, this is another article that I just want to look at. I'm going back to that because we're going to see Kiena's mum talk in a moment. And also I want to just show you the domestic abuse helplines, etc. But this... So the mother and girlfriend of Kiena's abuser, have been investigated for alleged evidence coaching. So his mum has been trying to get him off. No, I know as a mother you love your son, but come on. I've seen the photos of what he did to Kiena. And that child is her granddaughter. Anyway. So apparently they were both under police investigation for allegedly coaching him to give evidence. He made a number of calls to his mother, Lisa Green, and his current girlfriend, Emma Croft, who had both attended the trial to support him from the public gallery, speaking about his evidence. While he was being held at the prison in Preston, I just can't say that majesty thing. He was in the middle of giving evidence, and while entitled to speak to family and friends, he was not legally allowed to discuss his case with them. But the prosecution were made aware of the calls, and before the jury was brought back into court following the Christmas break, Paul Greeny QC, prosecuting, told the judge there had been developments. And he told the court he has repeatedly discussed the content and nature of the evidence with Emma Croft and Lisa Green during giving evidence and over the Christmas period. And there's going to be an investigation by this by the police, because on the face of it, there's been a conspiracy to pervert the course of justice. I hope more comes of that. So, Judge Altham banned both from entering court until verdicts were returned, and only if they agreed to hand over their phones. So something might come of that. I hope so. I certainly hope so. So let's just go back now to the one before, and we're going to look at... So there's a couple of helplines here. There's Fortalece. That's a refuge for women. It must be in that particular area because it's a Bolton number. And their children escaping domestic abuse. There's Refuge, Women's Aid. There's a men's advice line, and Mankind, and just a general Merseyside domestic violence service. So they're all there. Sorry, I'm not 100% better yet. All there to have a look at. I mean, it's difficult for men as well, because men who are suffering domestic abuse, of course, it can be more difficult because there's the embarrassment of being a man and suffering it. But it's more women suffer it. Of course, Refuge is probably the most well-known charity there that deals with domestic abuse. Paying tribute to Kiena outside the court, her mum, Angela Dawes, said she hoped no other young lady or child has to go through what he did to my daughter. I'm finding it almost impossible to put into words just how big of an impact losing Kiena has been on all her family, her beautiful baby girl. It's so sad. That girl will never know her mother, and her father's not worth knowing. And all her friends. And what she will learn is that her father drove her mother to do what she did. Kiena was a rare gem. She brought so much love and kindness into the world and everyone who loved her. Now, the only reason I'm not reading that out is I think there's a video of her there that we're going to listen to. So I'll just go to what the DCI said of Lancashire Police. He said Kiena Dawes was a devoted and loving mother who, despite her personal challenges, was determined to give her baby girl the best life she could. Ryan Wellings I hope he sees Kiena's face every night before he falls asleep. And in return, he launched a concerted campaign of emotional, mental and physical abuse. Over a 2.5-year period, he broke her spirit. He isolated Kiena, he belittled and abused her, controlled her, subjected her to violence and made her believe that she would never escape him. He added, although today's headlines will understandably be about Ryan Wellings and today's verdict, I don't want Kiena, the victim, to get lost or forgotten about. Kiena was a fun-loving, kind and sensitive young woman who had her whole life ahead of her. She was a mother, daughter, sister, granddaughter and friend who died in extremely tragic circumstances. Let's hear what a mum had to say.
I'm finding it almost impossible to put into words just how big of an impact losing Kiena has been on all her family, her beautiful baby girl, and all her friends. Kiena was a rare gem. She brought so much love and kindness to this world and to everyone who loved her. She was an extremely beautiful girl and was quite truly the sweetest, kindest and gentlest person I've ever known. Kiena was missed so very much, every second of every day. Her baby girl was brought to my home a few hours after Kiena was found and has been in my full-time care ever since that tragic day. And I honestly cannot put into words just how much it breaks my heart that her beautiful baby girl doesn't have her mummy here because of that monster. I'll never forget the day when 3 CID officers came to my house shortly after I lost Kiena, and I simply said, Ryan Wellings killed my baby, and I will fight for her justice. I truly hope that no other young lady or child has to go through what he did to my daughter and her baby. And I just wish with all my heart that I could bring her back and say, it's okay, you're safe now.
No.
Although a manslaughter conviction has not been achieved today, the case and the convictions of controlling and coercive behaviour and assault clearly demonstrate that the perpetrators of domestic abuse will be held to account and in prison for what they have done. It cannot bring back my baby girl, as this has happened all too late for her. I want to sincerely thank the prosecution team for their hard work and diligence, and I hope this will protect other victims of domestic abuse. Today was for you, Kiena, and I'm sorry that your voice has not been fully heard and that justice has not been done in the way we all hoped.
Yeah, not been fully done, but at least it's been partly done. I mean, that's, in this misogynist society that we live in, or that's how it feels sometimes. We're in a position. I actually was watching someone on YouTube at some point today, earlier this morning, because, Andrew Tate is talking about how he's going to try and become Prime Minister, etc. And I was listening to someone saying, oh, yeah, well, that might be a good idea, because someone who has daughters, Andrew Tate, who says it's legitimate to beat a woman up if she doesn't do what you say. This is a society. Someone like Andrew Tate being able to actually say those things, and people saying, oh, well, it's free speech. It's free speech. This is just unbelievable. I couldn't believe what I was hearing, especially someone with daughters themselves. Would anybody want their daughter to go out with Andrew Tate? and the things he says. You know, it's just, I was a bit speechless, to be honest. So jurors heard that Miss Dawes, a hairdresser from Fleetwood in Lancashire, had suffered 2 years of violence and abuse at the hands of Wellings. She had been diagnosed. I mean, this is what always gets me. She had been diagnosed with an emotionally unstable personality disorder, resulting in increased impulsivity, poor self-esteem, and difficulty in relationships, a condition allegedly exploited by the defendant. Yeah, it's the easiest. We saw it with Micah's case over in America, Micah Francis. Oh, yeah, well, she's mentally unstable. I remember my ex when he was stalking me and he, saying that I was mentally unstable because I didn't want to be with him. That's what the mean is. You must be mentally unstable because you don't want to be with me. This poor girl. When it says she'd been diagnosed with these things. Oh, look at this bubbly and happy-go-lucky. Kiena had been swept off her feet after meeting Wellings, a landscape gardener from Bispham, who had a previous conviction for battering his ex-partner, mother of his twin girls. Oh, my God. So he had a previous conviction. Now he's going to have this conviction. Now he's got another girlfriend who thinks she's won the lottery. Thinks she's so enamored by him. She's trying to help him get off with his convictions. Wellings had Miss Dawes' name and face tattooed on his body within a week of meeting, and he proposed marriage within 3 months. Love bombing, that's what these psychopaths do. Love bomb in the beginning and, sweep someone off their feet and then the real them comes out. So Miss Dawes later said her fairy tale turned into a nightmare with Wellings, who had a vicious temper and regularly enjoyed cocaine and drink binges. There you go. Alcohol and drugs, that's a good mix, isn't it? The abuse was detailed to the jury in hundreds of text messages between them and from Miss Dawes to her friends. Oh, bless. Well, you're flying free now, Kiena. I hope she is flying free. That's a beautiful photo. I hope that's how it is for Kiena now. But it shouldn't have been like that. She should have been able to bring up her little girl. She should have felt safe enough to carry on living, not to feel that she had to do what she did. So apparently her friends warned her to run a mile from toxic Wellings. And he was described by prosecutor Paul Greene Casey as an entitled, aggressive bully, and by Miss Dawes' friends as a horrible little bar steward with a jealous streak. He didn't like being answered back, which triggers his anger. His abuse of Miss Dawes included regular slapping and ragging by her hair and threats to use a drill to take her out her teeth and make her look like Katie Piper by throwing acid in her face. Oh my God, what's the name of his new girlfriend? You know what? This is what you've got coming. He also sponged off her, unable to hold down work, securing and leaving 22 jobs and draining her of money while she worked 2 jobs. Wellings claimed £15,000 in COVID loans during lockdown, which he spent on hotels, £1,800 golf clubs and drugs. After she became pregnant, Wellings gave her a black eye and began criticising her weight, calling her a fat little bitch. Sorry, I'm just reading out what's there. While contacting escorts and prostitutes online. Then he said, I'm not a monster. Whatever. This poor girl. That little baby, oh my God. So friends and her mother, Angela, warned her to run a mile from him. Sorry. But a pattern developed of breakup and makeup. He excusing his behaviour, saying it was only a slap. Oh, God. And apologising profusely. And after threatening her with his drill, Miss Dawes again broke up with Wellings, with him texting back, "Can we have sex with each other still? We can just be sex buddies." Oh my God, well, there's nothing more erotic, is it, than someone threatening you with a drill? More than once the police were called, but Wellings threatened Miss Dawes that she would have her daughter taken off them if she told him what was happening, so she declined to help prosecute him. The prosecutor, Paul Greene, read her note to the jurors. So this is the suicide note she left. The end. "I fought hard, I fought long, I went through pain no one could imagine. I was murdered. Ryan Wellings killed me. He ruined every bit of strength I had left. I had dreams. I had a future at one point. That was taken away from me." Whereas he said, "I'm not a monster," and claimed her allegations were either untrue, exaggerated, and any injuries to her accidental. He did, however, admit to getting heavy-handed with her. A final battering broke Miss Dawes. Wellings leaving her needing hospital treatment. I think that must have been the photo that I saw. This time she did make a statement to police and her tormentor was arrested. He then broke his bail conditions but was not locked up, leaving Miss Dawes feeling let down by police, and 4 days later she killed herself. Now, this is important perhaps because Miss Dawes had been described as a very troubled young lady who decided to end her life not because of him but because of multiple factors. She had also made a number of attempts to take her own life in the past before she met Wellings. So it's important to mention that. Sorry. Now let's just have a look at these police officers. Oh no, that's not talking about. It's what we watched before. So yeah, so she probably was a troubled young lady. She would have been even more troubled after she got involved with him. But all I would say to his new girlfriend, I mean, are you mad? Are you literally crazy? This man has been, convicted of domestic violence for his previous relationship. Now this relationship, and, his girlfriend is helping him get off. I don't think these men change. I don't believe that this man will change. Are we supposed to believe now that he'll never be abusive to another woman again? That he's learned his lesson? That he won't be taking drugs or drinking and going on these rampages? I don't know. Anyway, that's the decision of his new girlfriend. She's made a decision. She's made a bed and she's going to have to lie in it. So I just wanted to let you know about that. So it's, where's that photo of her? Fly free, yeah. That's how I like to think of Kiena. She looks free there. She looks happy. I hope that's how she is now, in the next world. It's just a shame that she had to leave a little girl behind. Anyway, I hope she'll be okay. I'm sure she'll get love anyway, that little girl, whatever. So I'm going to leave that picture up actually as I finish off. There's a lesson there. you know, just, well, say there's a lesson there. I hope that, you know, the fact that Lancashire Police have actually, you know, taken 3 officers to disciplinary action, that might help women in the future that are reporting domestic abuse. Anyway, that's such a beautiful photo, isn't it, of her? So yeah, fly free, Kiena. We'll see what the sentencing is later. It won't be much, will it? You know, I doubt very much if he's going to get a very long sentence, even though he's got previous convictions. I'd be surprised if he even serves prison time. To be honest, all the prisons are full. There'll probably be, you know, I don't know, maybe he'll get suspended sentence, or I don't know. But I hope whoever his new girlfriend is, you know, she, God, that poor woman, well, say poor woman, but it's her own choices that she's making. Yeah, you've really won the lottery. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll see you really soon in the next video. Fly free, Kiena. And until I see all of you again, may your God go with you. Bye.